Oh, that's good. I'm not a coffee person, so this is my caffeine. Well, yeah, it's still morning. It's my caffeine for the morning. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. Okay. So, it was a week ago. It was a week ago. Tennessee fired Jeremy Pruitt with cause due to recruiting violations. And athletic director Philip Fulmer also retired. So, Tennessee hires a new athletic director in Danny White from Central Florida. And so then, last night, Danny White goes out and hires Central Florida coach Josh Heupel to be Tennessee's next head coach. Well, and here is my opinion on that. Sure, there were probably better options, but at the same time, Tennessee could have done worse. Tennessee could have done worse. And keep in mind, and I have seen a bunch of people say this, and I do have to agree. Before Tennessee hired Josh Heupel, there is a good chance Tennessee got a lot of no's from big names, because Tennessee fans wanted Hugh Freeze, they wanted Lane Kiffin, they wanted Jamie Chadwell from Coastal Carolina, which, by the way, I would have been perfectly fine with either of those three. But let's be realistic here. Yeah, because us Tennessee fans are so realistic. Yeah, because we're known for being realistic. Okay. Well, hang on a minute. There we go. Well, because Tennessee committed recruiting violations, there is likely sanctions coming from the NCAA. Guess what? There are sanctions coming. And let's be realistic here. No big name head coach is going to come to a program that has sanctions most likely coming. And Tennessee fans can make the excuse, and Tennessee fans can make the excuse that Tennessee has a lot of money to work with. They can make the excuse about money all they want. But guess what? When it comes to hiring a big name coach, money isn't the only factor. It's just not. Now, like I said, is it a great hire? Were there better options? Sure. But, like I said, Tennessee could have done worse. Okay. That was kind of nasty. Let me try that again. Tennessee could have done worse. So, since last night, all I've seen is a bunch of Tennessee fans just griping and complaining on social media. Now look, I'm not perfect. I've done and said some things on social media that I shouldn't have. But But guess what? Griping, and let me, before I say that, yes, I have griped and complained on social media before when it comes to Tennessee. And yes, I knew it wasn't going to do anything, but at the same time, I do know that griping and complaining on social media isn't going to do anything. It isn't going to do anything. Now, as far as Josh Heupel is concerned, as a head coach at Central Florida, he's 28-8. Now, he went 13-1 his first year, 10-3 his second year, and 6-4 in 2020. And yes, that regression is a concern. But, and yes, people say he's not a great recruiter. But when you're coaching in Central Florida, when it comes to recruiting, Central Florida has to compete with Florida, Florida State, Miami, and other schools in Florida. And don't forget, also in Florida, normally Georgia and Alabama and Auburn also recruit in Florida. So, guess what? It's hard to, when you're Central Florida, it's hard to compete with those big schools in recruiting. But all 3 years at Central Florida, Josh Heupel's offense has ranked in the top 5 in all of college football. Now, yes, he went 6-4 last year, but on offense, he had 2 of his quarterbacks were injured. And Central Florida, I believe, dealt with 10 players that opted out. And yes, the defense wasn't very good, but I think that's where the opt-outs came into play. Now, if there's one thing we're going to get with Josh Heupel, is a high-scoring, exciting offense, and that is something Tennessee desperately needs. And you know what? The Tennessee players, if you follow the Tennessee players on Twitter, they're happy about the hire. They're happy. They're really happy. And you know what? Since the players are happy, I'm going to give Josh Heupel a chance. Because at the end of the day, as a fan base, that is all we can do. Now, with the sanctions most likely coming, Tennessee will most likely have at least a 1-year bowl ban, at least, and will lose scholarships. And so, now, like I said, it's not a sexy hire, but being realistic and looking at the big picture right now and in the mess that Tennessee is in right now, this is probably the best, right now, this is probably the best that Tennessee could have gotten. And so, look, like I said, it's not a sexy hire, but Tennessee could have done worse. And look, I love the Tennessee fan base. I love Vol Twitter. But I'm not gonna lie. There are times where this fan base and the Tennessee fans on Twitter really piss me off. Look, like I said, I've griped and complained. Look, when it comes to Tennessee, I have griped and complained on Twitter before. And look, I'm not perfect. I have done things and said things on social media that I shouldn't have. Look, I get it. I get it. This fan base wants a big name. I get that. I would love to have a big name head coach. But in the shape that Tennessee is in right now, and in the situation that Tennessee is in right now, I just don't think. This right now. This is probably the best that Tennessee can do right now. So, look, Tennessee fans. I get it. We're upset. I get it. Okay, look, we've been frustrated with this program for so long now. And rightfully so. We have every right to be frustrated. And and I want us to win just as much as anybody. And I understand that Josh Heupel has to earn the trust of this fan base. Because at this point, this fan base has trust issues at this point. And I understand that trust has to be earned. But like I said, the players are happy. And so, right now, I'm going to give Josh Heupel a chance. I'm going to see what he does. I'm going to see the type of staff that he brings in. And I hope, and for the Tennessee fans that are griping and complaining, I hope Josh Heupel proves y'all wrong. I hope he proves y'all wrong. And so let's just wait and see what happens, okay? Because at the end of the day, that's all we can do.